Good morning, this is Chelsea from Teaching in Pearls and welcome back to my channel. This is a day in the life of a music teacher. Okay, so this weekend was, well, let me start back. So Friday I vlogged, it was a fun day. Went out with the staff after school, hung out with them for like an hour and a half. It was really fun. Friday night, I think Brandon and I went out to eat, I can't remember. And then Saturday, I went to a journal painting class with my friend Nicole, and actually I have my journal. It turned out really well. So I actually painted this whole thing myself, if you can believe it. I did not do the hand lettering, but everything else I did myself. The teacher was amazing. She's from Hosanna Revival. I will link their website below because they sell like pre-made journals that she hand paints, and she hand paints Bibles, whatever. Anyways, so Saturday after that I got home, and then Brandon and I immediately got in the car and went to hang out with my mom and my sister and my niece. And I'm sorry that I'm multitasking, but such is life. And then Saturday was really relaxing and fun. Sunday I woke up super motivated, worked out, and then right after I showered, I started feeling immediately sick, like sore throat, head issues, and I still don't feel good, but I feel not worse, so that's good, I guess. And then I went to church, and then on my way to church I found out that there was a shooting in our school neighborhood on Saturday night really late. I think it was like 11 or something. And the only information that we knew at that time was that it involved 3 people under the age of 21. So it's just a lot to process. So then I sat through church, and it was a really good service. Worship was good. I just sort of listened a lot, and I journaled while church was going on about like the news. And then all day I was just sort of like out of it. I still went grocery shopping, and my mom and boyfriend and I went to brunch, but I just like wasn't present, I guess is the word. A lot of processing, a lot of crying because we didn't find out who or the ages until the afternoon. We also had no idea about their condition. We just knew that all 3 of the victims were rushed to the hospital and all in surgery, which is usually not great news. It obviously could be worse, but we ended up finding out in the evening that the victims, and this is all, I mean, it's on the internet's public news, the victims were 15, 15, and 19, and I believe all 3, if not all 3, 2 of them are former students, but I did not teach them. But what really was on my mind all day is that one of my former students was in the footage from the news and looked so just broken. And I hate that the news, I mean, on one hand, yes, share those emotions, but also I was on the news when I'm not trying to make this about me, but this is just like what it made me think of. When I was a sophomore in high school, there was a girl from our school who was in the 7th grade who was killed by a serial killer, and it was national news. I think it even made it on like CBS This Morning, like that kind of thing. It was a big deal. We had a huge thing for her at the ERIN, which is a big performance venue here, like where musicals come and stuff, huge. And our choir had to sing at it. I mean, we had the choice, but obviously we did. And I was really upset during the performance because like her parents were up there, and it was just a lot. And the news like videotaped me like hysterically crying and put it on the news, and like I know they don't have to ask for consent, although when it's a child I feel like you don't, like I don't understand how that works. But it was just like seeing that on the news without my permission, and like I'm, like I don't know. So anyways, when I saw my student there, I could just feel his pain, and so anyways, it's Monday morning. As of now, we have heard that the boys are stable, so that's amazing news. Hopefully They're out of surgery, they're healing, but as of now, we are under the impression that everyone is stable. And I don't know what the mood is gonna be like today. This isn't, I hate saying this, but this isn't a rare occurrence. My students, unfortunately, gun violence is a normalcy for a lot of them. Gun violence is a big issue in America. It's a big issue in Cincinnati. It's a really big issue in this neighborhood. I've only been around a shooting once. It was pretty close to where we were standing. I mean, it was not even the distance of my classroom, down at the fireworks downtown. But I mean, I can't imagine the rush of feelings and emotions you get in that situation, and then experiencing that more times than most people do ever in their life. I mean, it's just, we have a big epidemic here. Cincinnati, as of that incident this weekend, that was the 224th shooting in 2019. This was our deadliest summer ever, and it's just not, it's not getting better, it's getting worse. And I don't want to say that stricter gun laws would have prevented what happened this weekend, because maybe they wouldn't have, but they definitely wouldn't have hurt, which is why I volunteer and work with Moms Demand Action and try to do my part to advocate for gun safety and gun sense and voting for gun sense candidates. I mean, it's just, I don't understand how people don't take things like this seriously in a city with this much violence. But aside from that, one of the things I was having trouble dealing with yesterday were the comments on the news articles. They were so disgusting. The city disgusts me sometimes because it is very segregated. I know for a fact in 2011, I believe, was the last time we had the data. So it could have changed by now, hopefully it did. But in 2011, Cincinnati was the 8th most segregated major city in the United States. There's actually like 3 cities from Ohio that made that list. It is very segregated. And I have the privilege as a white upper middle class person that when I'm done teaching, I drive 20 minutes to my mostly white neighborhood. And I live in an apartment complex that is gated. Like, I recognize that I am not experiencing the emotions that my students are. Even though I do feel emotional about it, I'm not in that space with them, but I'm gonna support them as much as I can today. I don't know what the mood is. I don't know if they're upset about it. I don't know if they're mad about it. I don't know if they are whatever about it, because it happened 2 days ago. They might have already processed it. I don't know if they want to talk about it. I don't know if they don't want to talk about it. I don't know who saw it. I don't know anything really. So I'm just going to teach them music. I trust that the classroom teachers will give them time to process today. Our school is very empathetic and caring, and our teachers are amazing. So I trust that our students will be taken care of and given space today to process and discuss if they need to. We have a psychologist here every day. We have different forms of therapy here as well. So I'm gonna set up my lesson now and put my lunch in the fridge and then go do my duty and greet my babies with smiles and giant hugs, because that's like all I wanted to do yesterday when I saw that article. And I don't even know if I'm gonna put, like, I don't even know if I'm gonna vlog today or if I'm gonna even put this in here, but it's just something that I know I'm not the only educator that teaches in communities with problems like this, and I want to open up a platform where we can support each other and help each other navigate through this situation that most of us probably didn't experience growing up. So that's my only thought. I don't want sympathy for me. That's not what this is about, but I just feel like by not sharing, I'm doing a disservice to other teachers who are going through similar situations. Okay, so just made it through 6th grade and 5th grade. Today I do not have 4th grade. Right now I'm working on finishing up a couple of my projects with my Cricut. It's actually printing right now, or cutting, so you might hear it. Right now this thing I'm working on is a, like, what are we learning board that's gonna hang up. I don't know where I'm gonna put it. It's really not, it's for me, not for the students, so I might put it outside of my door though, just because I like people to know that we are actually learning things in here and we don't just play around all the time. But today has been very just normal. No one has brought up the situation from this weekend. I had a couple older kids who just looked really tired, but it's raining outside. They might just be really tired. It's honestly going swimmingly well. 6th grade got through all the stuff I had planned for them for the next 2 weeks, which is great because I don't see these students until 2 Mondays from now because we do not have school next Monday. Thank you, Labor Day. I will appreciate that day off next week for sure. I'll be super tired by then. And then 5th grade, I wasn't nervous, but I was sort of like, ooh, because I had 2 adults in my room and they were just there as one-on-ones for students. And it was just really nice because every time I looked at them, they were the adults. Every time I looked at the adults, they were like smiling, and just like the vibe they were putting off was like super affirming. Like, I don't know, it was just, I really liked how they were perceiving my class. It was really, really affirming. I was like, yay, I'm doing a good job. Even though they're not evaluating me, they're just there as one-on-one, you know, shadows, Velcros, whatever you guys call them at your school. But the students they were with always do well for me, and I don't know, I just think my class is different, and students that struggle in other classes don't always struggle in my room. Sometimes it's like their best behaved room because we do a lot of like sitting and working together, but we do fun stuff. Like I mix in a lot of game type learning, Honestly, most of our learning is in game form because that's how I get the most engagement. But with 6th grade, we reviewed note names real quickly because we started reviewing it last week and they all seemed to remember very well. And then we reviewed, sorry, I'm like trying to make sure I put these in the right place. And then we reviewed rhythms, ta, TT, quarter rest, and half rest. Whatever you guys call those, ta, TT, quarter note, eighth notes. And then we had a lot of like rhythm review. I wrote up different rhythms, they clapped them, they spoke them, blah, 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 blah. And then after that, what did we do with 6th grade? Oh, with both classes we played the Beat Simon Says that I started doing with my little kids, and everybody is loving that game. So if you don't play that game, you don't need Quaver or anything to do it. It's literally Simon Says, but clapping a 4-beat pattern. If you say Simon Says, then they clap it. If they don't clap it when you say Simon Says, they're out. And if you don't say Simon Says and you clap it and they clap it back to you, they're out. Just like literally the Simon Says regular old game. And I also make an extra rule for my own sanity that if they tattletale on someone, like, they're out for that too. So if someone claps and they're like, oh, so-and-so clapped, you didn't see them, they're also out because I don't need the tattletaling. And that rule has worked really well in every grade level so far. They are like, okay, fine. I'm just so happy that it's a happy, calm day and everyone seems to be in okay moods. I heard that we are, as far as the incident this weekend, everyone is stable. It's all looking good. So our teachers are super involved, especially the ones who knew those students. And now, since I don't have connection to those students, I'm gonna step back and trust that my colleagues will do their part, which they will, because they're amazing. I haven't decided yet on this little standards thing I'm making if I'm gonna write on the glass. Anyways, I don't know if it will erase well, so I'm gonna have to play around with it before I hang it up. Otherwise, I could use sticky notes to write the standards on it. That might actually just be better and less messy, sticky notes. But if I do sticky notes, will the students, and it's in the hallway, will the students take it off? It's a good point that I made to myself. Anyways, then 5th grade, they are not gonna be, I don't, did I even say the 6th grade got up to the point where the next time I see this class, they can start ukuleles, because that's what they asked to do first. And 6th grade is always my toughest to like engage, and if they're excited about something, we're gonna do it. So we're starting with ukuleles, and I think it'll go well. They've played them for 2 years, so they're probably excited to get them back. I usually don't bring them out till the spring, but since they want to do it and they're gonna have probably really good behavior if we do that, and it's something we were planning on doing anyways, then we're making it happen. In 5th grade, we also worked on reviewing note names. We did a lot with rhythms, more than we did with 6th grade. And then we played tic-quack-toe, where you have to get like 3 rhythm patterns in a row right, and all that kind of good stuff. If you guys want me to like explain my lessons every week, how I'm structuring them and stuff, I mean, I guess I can. if there's an interest in that, but if not, then I can just give you this brief overview like I usually do. But I wouldn't mind sharing my weekly lessons. I'm doing something new this year, which I explained in one of my classroom setup vlogs. I got approved to go for my lead teacher and continuing contract evaluation. So basically this year, there's like 4 times that another music teacher in the district, sorry, will come in and randomly observe me. And so when that happens, I have to have my lesson plans ready, and I won't necessarily know when he's gonna come. And so I really have to be on it this year, more so than I have in past years. If I'm gonna switch things up, I need to make sure to add it to my lesson plan, because I have a tendency of liking to do random things that are pop culture related when they're pop culture related. So anyways, can't do much of that this year. I'm gonna have to pretty much stay on track. But that means my lesson plans will be way more, not that I don't take time on them, but I will take obviously more time, since I know that someone who doesn't know me is going to be coming in and observing me and stuff. I also have to do a lot of like written reflection type stuff for that, but that stuff I'll obviously keep private because it's sort of like a big deal. And once I pass this, I'm going to put into the world that I am going to pass it. So once I pass this, then I will have a continuing contract with the district. So I won't have to like reapply every 5 years. And I also can be lead teacher, which is just gives you more leadership opportunities in your building and just throughout the district. So yeah, there's lots of opportunities when I pass this process this year, but it's going to be like a full year process. Yay, this is what I just created. I know the letters are kind of hard to see. I wish I would have picked literally any other color other than yellow, but I didn't think it through a lot. But it's okay because it is functional and it is what it is. But I'm gonna write not the standards, but what we're actually doing. So like kindergarten, we're doing study beat, blah, 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 blah. So that's what I'm gonna do now. And these activities will last us 1 to 3 weeks, because I just don't see my kids like on I don't know, it just gets messed up because we have days off, and then it just takes like 3 weeks for us to catch up with each other. Okay, 3 rules. Number 1, if I say, Simon says, you have to clap. If you don't clap when I say Simon says, you're out. If I don't say Simon says, and you do clap, you're out. And here's rule number 3. If you tattletale on anybody, like, oh, he clapped when he was supposed to, blah, 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 you're out. We don't need tattletales. Got it? Okay. Simon says, my meeting got done with early, but I have to stay here till 3:30, so I'm going to finish working on my classroom. But today went really, really, really well. Kindergarten was so awesome. I saw these kinders on Friday for the first time and today for the second time, and they were so excited to be back, and they remembered all our songs, and every kid sang into the microphone. Every kid in 1st grade sang in the microphone, every kid in 2nd grade. Like, it was just such a fun, amazing day. I'm just feeling so much better than I was this morning. It was just a really rewarding, affirming day. I feel like I've been using that word a lot, but I guess I've been feeling affirmed a lot, which is good news. But yeah, just a really good day. My room's pretty clean, but I'm gonna keep cleaning it a little bit so that tomorrow when I get here, I'm ready to go. And yeah, if you have watched this whole vlog, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss anything. Give it a thumbs up if you liked anything in it, and I hope you're having a fabulous day wherever you are.